Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So let's get right into it. I think a lot of people have heard the words "I'm sorry" without ever actually receiving a real apology. And those are not the same thing. Because a real apology is not just about saying words that sound emotional at the moment. It's not just wanting the tension to go away. And it's not just about wanting forgiveness quickly. A sincere apology has real substance to it. And to me, there are three parts that usually tell whether it's real, and those are acknowledgement, responsibility, and change. Now, a lot of people know how to say "I'm sorry," but not everyone knows how to apologize. And that distinction matters because a real apology is not just a phrase. It's not a social ritual. It's not just something to say, something to smooth things over. A sincere apology has weight. It tells the truth about what happened. It takes ownership without hiding. And it shows that a person actually cares enough to make repair or change. And when any one of those things is missing, people can feel it. Because there's a big difference between somebody being sorry that they caused harm and somebody just being sorry for the consequences. And I think that's why an apology has these three parts. The first part of a sincere apology is acknowledgement. That means a person actually is able to name what they did. Not vaguely, not in a slippery way, and not in a way that pushes blame onto others. They say it clearly. They say, "I was wrong for that. I hurt you when I did that. What I did was disrespectful. The way I handled that was unfair." And that matters because acknowledgement shows awareness. And without awareness, the apology just feels empty. A person cannot meaningfully apologize for harm that they did while still refusing to see it clearly. That's why phrases like "I'm sorry you feel that way" or "I'm sorry you got hurt" do not usually feel sincere. Because those statements focus on your feelings without directly naming the person's actions. A real apology is willing to tell the truth about the action itself. The second part is responsibility. Now, this is where apologies fall apart. Because people will say "I'm sorry" and then immediately try to explain themselves in a way that weakens the apology. "I'm sorry, but I was just stressed. You made me mad. That's not how I meant it. I was going through a lot." Now, context can matter. But when somebody rushes to defend themselves before they have fully owned what they did, it just makes an apology feel more self-protected than accountability. A sincere apology does not need to erase context, but it does need to take responsibility clearly. It says, "What I did was wrong. That was my choice. You did not deserve that. I am not excusing it." And that's what real ownership sounds like. Because accountability is not just about regret. It's about being honest enough to carry responsibility without immediately trying to escape it. The third part is change. And honestly, this may be the most important part. Because a lot of people can sound emotional. A lot of people can cry. And a lot of people can say beautiful words. But sincerity becomes much more believable when behavior changes. A real apology does not just want relief from the moment. It wants to make things right and stop the harm from repeating. That can sound like, "How can I repair this? What do you need from me now? I understand I need to do better. I am working on changing this pattern." Because an apology without change can start becoming a cycle. Harm, regret, apology, same harm again. And after a while, the words lose meaning. Not because forgiveness is impossible, but because real remorse is supposed to move toward a different behavior. And that is what makes an apology trustworthy. And I think that's the key. A sincere apology has to have all three. It acknowledges the harm, it takes responsibility, and it shows change or repair. Now, when one of those things is missing, something usually feels off. Without acknowledgement, it feels vague. Without responsibility, it feels defensive. Without change, it feels temporary. That does not mean human beings are not able to apologize perfectly, but it does mean sincerity has a shape. And people can usually feel the difference between I want to make this right and I want this discomfort to end. And those are not the same thing. So to me, the meaning of a real apology is not just emotion, it's not just words, and it's not just saying I'm sorry at the right time. A real apology has substance. It says, I see what I did, I own what I did, and I take care enough to change what I did. And that's what gives an apology weight. Because sincerity has not proven only by how bad somebody feels. It can be proven how truthfully they take responsibility and what they do next. A sincere apology is not just regret. It is truth, responsibility, and change. And that's my message for today, guys. Thank you very much. Leave a comment in the section below, and I look forward to giving you guys the next message. Have a great evening and a great day wherever you are, and namaste.